Now, this is what everyone's been waiting for, dude. Like, enough of the pleasantries, the hellos, the tip of the caps. Let's talk Dodgers, Padres. What a freaking series. These teams have met 7 times in the last 10 games. The Dodgers end up taking 5 of 7 games from them. But this one was littered with hit by pitches and drama. And if you weren't calling it a rivalry before now, and I even was like, is it really a rivalry? I think it's become 100% a rivalry after this series. I want to bring us, before we start talking, I want to hear some sound from Mike Schilt and Dave Roberts after this game talking about these hit by pitches.
Enough is enough. You know, we got a guy that's getting x-rays right now. It's one of the best players in the game, of course, on our team. And this guy's has taken shots. Teams that I manage don't get into altercations like this because teams I manage don't throw at people.
I took that personal because I understand the game and know that I understand it doesn't feel good to get hit, but understand, again, intent versus clearly no intent.
Dave Roberts with the Michael Jordan right there, and I took that personally. 8 total hit by pitches in this series. I went over them. Okay, I'm going to give you my rundown, and if I think they were intentional or not. The Page's hit by pitch by Cease, I don't think was intentional, but that kind of started this whole thing because he wasn't very happy about it. Tatis gets hit by Trevino. I didn't like it, but I didn't think it was intentional. Ohtani gets hit by Vasquez. I thought that was intentional. Iglesias gets hit by Sowers. I don't think that was intentional. Pages again, no intent. Johnson by Trevino, no intent. Tatis by Little, I didn't like that one either, but I don't think there was intent there. And then Ohtani by Suarez, I do think there was intent. I'm not a Dodgers glazer. What say you about that? The only reason I say intent behind Ohtani's hit by pitches were they were directly after the next time he came up after they hit Tatis. What did you think about this whole mess?
I'll be honest. Of the 8, those are the 2 that stood out to me, especially the first one of Ohtani. The guy throws just cutters. There's like no way he could have hit him like he did without trying. It's almost impossible to yank the ball like that. But I think that we got a little bit of a maybe let's throw this back to like the Urania and like Acuna situation. He just throwing Acuna in was the plan, and he constantly was hitting him because he didn't have a very good command. And then towards the end of that, all those back and forths for those 2 years, I think he was actually just okay if he was hitting him because he was annoyed with how he reacted every time. I think that's what happened with like Pages. They were just like trying to get him up and in. Same thing with the Trevino hit. Again, just trying to throw up and in. Like that's a spot they're trying to get to and just missing their spots. So, but at the end of the day, Ohtani gets hit twice on purpose. and I love how he handles. He's like, I get it, whatever, guys, I'm fine. Leave me alone. Of course, of course it's me, and you don't have to react that way. You can get mad if you want, but yeah, this is it. This is the premier matchup now. This is the one I'm paying attention to.
All right, we're gonna keep going on this. This Ohtani, we're showing for our YouTube watchers. We're showing Ohtani go up to the Padres dugout after that hit by pitch last night. I don't know what he was saying. Like, hey guys, can we stop doing this? Because I keep getting hit on purpose and I don't like it. I will say this, even though I don't think the hit by pitches to Tatis were actually intentional, I agree with Schilt when he says enough is enough. And so it's difficult to talk about these hit by pitches because I've taken the stance for forever. Pitchers throwing at hitters is lame, in my opinion, especially if it's, hey, this guy owns me and now I just got to go shuffle his feet. I got to make him feel uncomfortable in the box. So I hit him. I think that is the lamest thing you can do. I think that should be out of baseball. I got in trouble when talking about, who was it? Talking about I'd be okay if they got hit. I believe it was Acuna. I said, I would understand if Acuna got hit because of what happened in the previous games. And people were like, you always say you're against hit by pitches. There are some things that are still part of the game, whether you like them or not. Them responding after Tatis getting hit is still very much, and Schilt references as an old school part of the game, but I think it just is what it is. And I don't want it to be a part of the game, but it ain't going anywhere. So you kind of just have to accept it and do it the right way. And I think the Padres did. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think that there was just the reason it got out of hand is because there's like 2 or 3 in there that were like actually on accident, just at a really bad time, which happens more often than you think. But you know, there is no, it's not hockey. You can't drop your gloves where both guys are like on even playing field. Now let's just punch each other in the face. Like, would that be a better situation that you guys just everyone says, hey, we're gonna fight right now, and then you just let the pitcher and the batter start punching each other? Like, is that what we need? Because at the end of the day, it always comes down to like there's no headers can't do anything back if they're being thrown at, and like there's only it's the way the game's put together. So I don't know what the answer is, but having some sort of recourse where you can gamesmanship where you can say, hey, like you're a little too comfy. It's just hard to figure out where those spots are in baseball. So I think that there's still going to be elements of this moving forward, but I think like what you mentioned before, the guys just not liking somebody, that's going by the wayside,
Yeah,
as it should.
a couple more things on this series. You know, another reason why I believe this got so testy, and again, the Dodgers have won 5 of 7 from this series so far, so they're sitting pretty. But I believe one of the reasons it got testy was you play each other 7 times in 10 days. It gets annoying, especially a team you're trying to catch, you know, who's beaten you before. So there's that aspect of it. So I do think that we haven't seen the last of this animosity on the field, because the next time they meet, Trev, is August 15th, and through August 24th, so those 10 days, they play 6 times. Like, this is going to happen again. It's insane. Whoever did this schedule, I don't know if they thought about this, but putting those 2 teams together, one for 7 games in 10 days, and then, you know, 2 months later, 6 times in 10 days seems a little excessive to me. Like, this is going to boil over. There's no doubt about it, especially if Tatis is actually injured and has to miss games.
Oh, they know. They know what they're doing. You know, they're like, oh no, this could get really testy. I wonder if people will watch more. So it's going to be, it's premium television, man. We live in a reality TV world. So there's going to be setting up things that happen just to make it more interesting and get more people to watch. And this is the premium, like I said, premium rivalry. Like Red Sox, Yankees, not quite back yet. But we do have on the West Coast, we got the Dodgers and the Padres to watch. So
last thing on this before we move on, because it is so fascinating to me. There's been a ton of quotes between these 2 teams already. Muncie saying this isn't a rivalry, it's really the Giants. And I'm from LA, and I would say that is their true rivalry. But right now, there's no doubt in my mind, or anybody that watches the game, that there's more animosity between the Padres and the Dodgers than there is between the Giants and the Dodgers. So where are you at with like that rivalry aspect? Is there one true rivalry, or can you have multiple? Because clearly this is one.
I think you get a multiple, but I think it comes down to like who the best teams are becomes a rivalry around the same time. They're always battling, especially after the division series last year. Like, I don't know how you can't say they also both spend tons of money. Like, it's just kind of like Preller's been trying to do the Dodgers thing. There's a lot of parallels there and a lot of superstar power, a lot of MVPs running around. So, of course, that's a big rivalry, but comes down to, you got to remember, you're from California. SoCal versus NorthCal, like, is just always going to be a thing, no matter how the teams are. So I think that like the long-term rivalry, it's just the same as like Yankees, Red Sox. They're always going to be rivals, right? Yeah. But like, there's going to be times where the 2 best teams are having a rivalry in that division because they're facing off and they're very close in talent. I think that's just what we are. But there will be a time where it kind of just settles back in, and one of the teams is much better than the other one, and then it'll just be the Giants for them. But ideally, it's like this year where the Giants are pretty good too, so that we get both.
Someone on social media said the Giants are the Dodgers' rival. The Padres are their arch nemesis, and I don't know what that means. I don't know. Something's going on between these 2 teams, and you know what? For all us fans, because that's what we are now, Team A. Okay, this is good for the game of baseball. Hopefully, Tatis is okay. I'm glad Shohei is okay. I don't love the hit by pitches, but I love the drop. Dave Roberts acted like he wanted to smoke. He went up and like kind of like bumped Schilt a little bit right there. Did you see that too?
Yeah.
Like, And our good buddy Danny Lehman is on the field too, there he is.
Yeah, there's Danny. I love it, dude. Just playing peacemaker, man. He almost went full Doug Minkiewicz on that one right there, man.
There's a lot of old twins. Nick Punto's a bench coach for the Padres. I should hit him up and say, what the heck is going on down there? I don't know, man. Great last 10 days for these two teams. I know the Padres fans are not happy with the results, but dang, that was.
All right, so just pick a side right off the jump here. Pick a side. Go ahead. Are the Dodgers in the wrong or the Padres in the wrong? Or are they both in the right?
I mean, more of the Padres are in the right.
In the right.
Padres are in the right.
For throwing at Ohtani after they threw at Tatis, whether it's an accident or not.
Yeah, I would say that's why it's going to be painted as the Padres are the ones who are, you're just attacking our players. They have to protect. The Padres have to protect their players. Like if I'm Schilt right there, if I'm Schilt going up to Roberts, and Roberts is like, we're not trying to throw at him on purpose. I'm gonna say to Roberts, you know what? Don't put dudes in that can't control the strike zone. You know the whole organization, all they want is dudes that just throw $1 million speed balls up there. Mm-hmm. If you can't put a guy in the game that can't control where it's going, understand that your golden ticket, Shohei Ohtani, is going to get hit. Sorry. Like, if you don't like it, I need you to either take Ohtani out of the game or put pitchers in who know where it's going. So, to me, I get it. The Padres are going to be painted in a bad light. They're going to have more ejections because they're throwing at guys, and that's seen as, bullying or like macho ball. You have to do it. You have to do it. And you also have to, for the Dodgers, you got to throw inside to Tatis. If you watch the video of him trying to hit, yes, I get it. He's got long arms. He stands farther from the plate. But when you stand farther from the plate, you have to crowd a guy more because he's trying to get extended on anything out, up, over.
Other teams did this too in the past, right? Where they would be known as pitching inside, and you'd be like, all right, things might get a little heated because if they miss, right? Weren't there teams that you would face?
Pirates. The Pirates. I came from the Pirates in 2009 and 10, and their pitching philosophy was, we're going to throw inside. We're going to throw inside because it intimidates hitters, which I think is a crock of it because there is no, like, you're not intimidating guys in the big leagues. Like, we're all men. Throw inside. They're balls. I'll walk. But they said, we're going to throw inside. If we hit somebody, I don't care. I left the organization, and I remember telling the AAA pitching coach, who was the manager at the time, I said, I know you guys are going to pitch inside. I promise you, if you hit guys, we're going to hit your guys. So you make your decision. That's the ebb and flow of baseball.
Yeah.
If you can't retaliate, it's not even retaliation. It's seen as retaliation because it's more of like a kumbaya type of like, oh, everything's great, it's not.
I have the word. It's policing.
You're policing it yourself.
One thing before you jump. So when I first entered the MLB media world, I was more like, oh, do we really need to throw out guys all the time, whatever? And I don't even remember who the player was, but I had a conversation. I think it was in spring training. And he was like, well, how else do you want us to stop it, right? He goes, for example, our star gets hit twice in a game, which is what happened, right? How do we stop it? You want us to go over there and say, hey, can you stop throwing at him, even if it's unintentional? Or, hey, can you cut this pitcher? They're like, there's only one way we can actually stop it.
But in the majors, there's some big names getting into some big shit, Ty. Can you talk about baseball etiquette a little bit, please?
Yeah, sure. So this is basically right now the Dodgers and the Padres, who they play in the same division. So they play each other, 30-plus times a year. They see each other a lot. They've seen each other in the playoffs before. It's kind of been like a growing rivalry, one of those things where the Padres for the longest time were not good. The Dodgers were, so it's kind of a little brother, big brother kind of thing. But then the Padres started spending a bunch of money and kind of not exactly doing what the Dodgers are doing, but they're trying to get on the same level. They have a bunch of superstars. So to kind of take everybody into what's happening here, over the last 10 days, Fernando Tatis Jr., who is arguably the star of the Padres, has been hit 3 times by the Dodgers.
10 days.
Yeah, in 10 days. First one right there, a little innocuous. It's in the first inning. You're probably not intentionally throwing at a guy in the first inning. So that is probably one that just got away. Let's go to June 17th here, okay? And this is in the 3rd inning. Tatis, now it's a little higher. That's a little higher. That's a little up near the head, which, again, maybe he's trying to get him off the plate, perhaps, but that you could argue is, Lou Trevino is throwing at Tatis to try to get him off the plate, but still, it happens. Well, the Padres basically say, okay, you're going to take one at our guy, we're going to take one at your guy. Shohei comes in and boom, he's trying to hit him right in the kneecap. So that, that's a meaty part of the leg. So, it hurts, but, Shohei's going to recover from that one. He's going to limp a little bit. He's not playing in the field. He wasn't pitching that night. So, you go ice that thing up in the dugout. No big deal. Well, then let's fast forward to last night, and this is in the top of the ninth. That one gets Tatis right on the hand. And after the game, he had to, you can see Mike Schilt is pissed. He's had it. This is 3 times in 10 days. We're paying this guy $300 million, and you guys are trying to kill him. Okay? Enough of that. This is bullshit. Right after he gets hit, the bench is clear, and we actually have a video. This is pretty sweet. So this is right when he hits. This is the bullpen. You see these guys just right away. Okay. Nope. And they storm out. The entire bullpen going. So that's sweet, and that's how you know. This is real deal Holyfield. Like, this is actually a thing now. Again, Tatis has to get an MRI. They're hoping that he doesn't have like a broken hand or something like that, because you see that a lot. Guys take an inside fastball when they're gripping the bat, and they might break a couple fingers and be out a little bit. Very important in baseball, having the use of your fingers, obviously, inside a glove and on a bat. So the following inning, Shohei comes up. Same deal. Okay, you take one of ours. We're going to throw it at Shohei's head. And you can see Shohei acts like he got hit by a shotgun there.
100 mile an hour.
But the guy's throwing 100 miles an hour, and he's throwing it. And you can see, like, at this point, the umpires are trying to, like, hey, we don't need another benches clearing brawl. We don't need a bunch of – Shohei's pissed, though. He's pissed.
But Shohei was telling the boys not fight.
I think he was saying, like, because, they're going to try to send, like, the medical staff out there to, like, see if he's okay. I think he was saying, like, no, piss off. I'm good. I'm going to go take first base, and I'll be okay. Because after the bench is cleared, like, a lot of times they're just not going to let, another benches clearing brawl happen in the next half inning. But this has been going on. The Dodgers and the Padres will play each other probably another, I don't know how many times they've played so far this year. They'll probably play each other another 15 to 20 times this season. This is going to be something to keep an eye on. This is a legit rivalry, bad blood between these two. And anytime you got pitchers throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs
at Shohei Ohtani's
head, at Fernando Tatis Jr.'s head, who is also a $350 million guy, like, this is kind of this stuff happens in baseball. You kind of likened it off the show. You're like, I kind of like this. It's kind of like fighting in hockey. It's very similar. It's an unwritten rule. Like, you come at our guy, we're going to come at your guy.
They have 6 games left against each other.
Okay, so not that many, but still, it's, what? He'll get 3 at bats. They could still hit Tatis 15 times in the next 6 games if they wanted to.
I love a little rivalry. I also like when baseball does a little hockey.
Sure.
Okay, hockey's a big, is that right, sport. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to get you back. Baseball showing that it is as well, to its biggest star. Shohei Ohtani get a 100-mile-an-hour fastball at his head. That's an insane situation. And him just eating that. You said, well, he did do an ouchie.
He did
100 mile-an-hour.
Which I get it. That's 100 miles an hour. That's cheese.
That hurts so
bad. Hurts
when did he do that? I
go back. Watch it.
Hold on. What should I be looking for? Can you do that again,
right
please?
after he hits, he kind of does like a, and then starts walking.
Really?
A little bit. Yeah, just watch it.
I will watch it.